Alright, welcome back everybody to Billy P Gaming, and we're going to continue where we left off with the Outer Worlds. Now, last time things didn't end so well, but let's try to do something a little different this time. See why this shotgun sucks. It only does 4 damage times 12. That's not very good. Yeah, be all flicky dicky, sneaky. Alright, let's do this. Ooh, assault rifle. Oh no. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. Got a little spike something. Ooh, a trip blade. 50 damage. Oh man, don't have a trip blade. Alright. I don't know what's up with my aim. A necklace. What's this do? Game does look really nice. Oh, it's a graveyard. I thought it was a garden.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend.
Low light.
Your pod? What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium? Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls. And low prices.
I'm gonna lie.
Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family.
I guess I'll be dumb. Gender and humor, like a comedian.
Nah, I ain't that fancy. I just dig holes in the ground and fill them with dead folk.
I'm gonna make a little bit of money.
Got a knack for being discreet-like? There's money to be made, long as you keep your nose clean. Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see?
You gotta rent your damn gravestone, that's stupid.
4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin
Our
Abernathy.
first side quest.
He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad. Yeah? Former people, yeah. Marauders been raiding my graves, you see. Hence the armed guards.
What are they after?
Oh no. They are after the most precious loot of all. Spacer's Choice Company property. If those marauders swipe any more bodies out of my cemetery, company's gonna duck my pay.
That.
Hang on, I'm doing some
Okay.
math in my head. 20, 30, carry the one. All my life? Work's been real good to me. Fresh air, exercise. Only problem's the paperwork. Can't get anybody to pay their gravesite fees.
I mean, you shouldn't have to pay a
You could
great
look at it that
fee.
way, I suppose. You could look at us and say, those Edgewater saps lost near every soul to plague. But you'd be wrong. We're survivors. Loyal company folk, braving the wilds. Every now and again, a virulent plague sweeps through our town. That's life on the frontier, I suppose. A body grows accustomed.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out, bro. What is this thing? What's the spotlight?
Fancy threads. That some kind of hibernation suit? Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got
Okay,
business
well.
inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town.
Tower
follow
above the cannery,
road.
alright? Alright, I do
Yeah?
have another question though.
The colony ship? Ain't heard that one.
What does not mean skip that? So square's how you skip things.
Alright, easy now. No need to get your hackles up. Maybe you've been out in the sun too long. Why don't you head over to the cantina? Get yourself some zero-G brew. It's a brew that's good for what ails you.
That's
No,
ridiculous.
this is sounding like sedition. I'm not too keen on getting clapped in irons because you wouldn't stop running your mouth. Look, I don't know what's got you caterwauling about hope this and colony that, but you need to stop, or there's gonna be trouble.
Don't let me kill you.
Trouble's in the asking. Or don't much care for folk running their mouths, spreading hoaxes and the like. Frankly, neither do I.
Do something then, bitch. Oh, these weren't guards here. Howdy.
Huh? What?
Howdy. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Edgewater. How's it going, everybody?
Heard something outside the walls today.
Nothing for us outside those walls. You ought to know that.
Somebody's been rambling about some colony ship.
Move along.
I don't get a lot of visitors.
I wonder if there's a way to put up my weapon. Salt tuna. Sure, I'm just gonna check out your logs real quick. I'm sure no one will mind me borrowing a couple things. Nice.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The can's bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going wrong. Seems we've got a guest. Really now,
She
Papa,
literally
I
just
do
said he
wish
had a
you'd
guest.
spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
Must be the town
I'm Nate
boss.
Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
I don't work for y'all.
Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
I need some help, bro.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Frying myself.
Oh, yes. Saw someone put his hands on a regulator while the power was running. His legs were still twitching when we buried him. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
I don't know.
I
This
was
is
not
like
entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are
the
not
power
legally
plant at
inhabited,
New
but
Vegas. There's going to be a lot of
there are
choices.
people who live there.
Let's see. I don't think people will like that, bro.
No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
What's in it for me, though?
Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations.
Yeah, you're not telling me about this is my problem, bro.
It's our problem, not yours, but I'm asking for your help. If those workers don't come back, Edgewater is going to collapse. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
How will I recognize her?
Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
The
That reason
facial
was me.
animations in this game is pretty
I
good.
asked
People
too
actually
much,
look sad and
pushed too
stuff
hard.
when they're
But
being
I am
melancholy.
ready to make amends if they are willing to return to the fold. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
I ain't gonna make any promises.
Of course, I understand completely. Here, let me give you the passcode to the geothermal plant. A sign of good faith for so politely listening.
Are you setting off for the Vale? Because I know my way around. I mean, in case you want a guide. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you.
Great! I got
I
my
think I can
wrenches
figure
and
something out to do with her.
prognosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
I ain't rolled my head out. Companions. Alright.
We better clear out of Mr.
The
Thompson's
Fati.
office before we talk.
You some sort of freelancer?
You're safer inside the walls.
Well, let's head out. Come along, Miss Provided.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
Can I hear her? Yes, I can.
Hey, ma'am, can we talk? Sorry.
Sure thing.
Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
Tell me about it, sister.
Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
I'm sure they're all very fine people.
Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. It don't seem right to me, ma'am. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their neighbors. Kin. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't.
Jane McBoob might be
He used to
evil,
go walking outside town.
but if it means
Maybe he
you'll
found
be my
something
new
that'll help.
girlfriend,
It's just an idea.
then I'll do the right thing.
That's all.
For once. No, ever since my husband died in the Vault 101, I think that's the Vault,
The mission's
and my
on the east
son
side
was
of
just an
town.
old prick.
You can't miss it. On account of it being the
Yeah,
only clean
I'm
thing.
taking to space travel now. Well,
Thanks, man.
let's head out.
I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Sure. Let's go. Which one's the victor? What's all these different things?
Coming back.
Excuse me.
Sorry, I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Ease off the threats, friend. I'm going.
Boss's orders. We all got quotas to make. Got my sights on
I don't have time for this.
This place sucks. Okay, I thought there'd be a door back here. Oh, chest. A model spaceship. Okay, so I'm assuming those gonna be like the snow globes. How do you get in here? Oh, to the door, dummy.
I've always felt weird
Howdy.
here. It's too clean.
It's a store map. Mr. Victor. Max.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just
You're
tagging
sort of a
along
thing
for
now,
the
Mr.
Saga.
Victor.
Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
I need to ask you some questions.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would
Why's
be
your
so
left ear
brave as to
glowing?
drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do?
Cut off power to the deserters.
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
Did she get treated by sawbones?
I see today we'll be conversing without metaphors. I'd guess her condition is incurable. It's unlikely to be fatal, but she may feel more heartache than most.
Could you maybe stop talking about me like I'm some kind of weird bug?
What do you think of the group?
They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice?
What do you think,
Assuming
bro?
your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
I mean, is that even possible?
Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume.
It never is.
One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book.
Handsome, what kind of weirdness are you into around here?
What? You seem the perfect type to go blindly into the wild on a suicidal quest. I'm looking for a journal, a handwritten book, with the name M. Bokonu on the cover. I'll pay you to find it.
But why?
What? No, I don't want to burn it. I would never... I mean, I just want to... Look, I have a very simple goal here. I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into
Okay, this is probably a book about, like, government stuff. I don't think I'll give it to him, no matter how much the money is.
On the contrary, my position means that I am one of the few legally allowed to possess such items. But do not worry. You'll be safe since you are acting on my behalf.
I don't trust this guy. Could you book sell someone else?
I can assure you, you won't find another willing to risk imprisonment to possess this book, nor anyone willing to pay the price I can offer.
Fine.
Glad we see eye to eye. Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
What do you think?
Yeah, huh? You mean about the mission being too clean?
Sure.
I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass.
No, you are a mechanic. You gotta fix things.
Fixing the universe is a job for somebody way better than the likes of me.
Let's get back to it then.
Just gotta keep our heads up.
You're not a big drinker, are you? Yeah, huh? In the bar? When I asked if you were a drinker? Sorry. I know, it's none of my business. Strong drink makes me sick. And it makes me real sad. I start thinking about things I oughtn't, and then... Well, never mind that. You got better things to think on. Sorry.
No, tell me. If you want to talk about it, I'm happy to listen.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said anything.
Fine.
You read the latest report?
Only the part that said we ain't making our...
I don't know you.
I don't know you either.
Uh-huh. The Unreliable, you say? Never heard of any company supply ship with that particular name. I don't know what you're about, but this here's a Spacer's Choice drinking establishment. We're all loyal, hard-working company folk here.
Show my charm.
You really think so? That's kind of you. I've been trying to keep the floors clean. You got no idea how long it takes to scrub the tiles. Guess I misreckoned you. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to be curt. We just got some problems lately. I can get you a drink if you'd like. Gotta ask you to enjoy your beverage within the premises, though. Can't risk you bringing a drink over to those deserters. You understand.
Oof. Fine by me, what's on tap?
Right up.
Now with 11% more natural water flavoring.
Oh, I almost forgot. I'm contractually obligated to recite company slogans to any visitors. We'll get you mostly drunk at half the price. Spacer's Choice.
Thank you. I just feel like chatting.
Go ahead.
So, what's your story?
I don't see how that's any of your business.
Okay, being a bitch, that's fine. But let me persuade you.
You're the first to ask after me in some time. I'll give you that. But I don't have a story to share. My family's worked Spacer's Choice for 2 generations, and I've lived in Edgewater just about all my life. Wanted to work in the sciences once upon a time. Would you believe it? That was a wild fancy. Glad I disabused myself.
Perception. So yeah, dream being a scientist. What
What
happened?
happened, you ask? What always happens when you're dreaming? I woke up. I just didn't have the brains for it. Asked too many questions. Wasn't suited to the work. So I did the right thing and worked the
You're
life I
supposed
was
to ask
always meant to
questions in the
live.
scientific community.
Now that I'm behind a bar, I can ask all the questions I want. Important ones. Like, when are you gonna pay your tab? And would you like another round of cold, refreshing 0G?
5 science, dumb. That's critter talk. You can be a scientist, anybody can.
Don't talk to me that way, please. Spent many years disabusing myself of that notion. Don't need you putting it back in my head. Lab work ain't for me. Never was. Never will be. Spacer's Choice put me where I belong, and for that, I am grateful.
Been scrubbing dishes
Wrong
all
with
your
that?
life?
It's good, honest work. Pots and pans don't scrub themselves. Glasses don't fill themselves either. Unless you're in Byzantium. I hear everything's automated there. Not that I'll ever find out.
Sounds like they took care of you.
They did. They gave me a life. Gave me a purpose. This is where I belong.
That's stupid.
Not so fast. I told you about my life. Your turn
Oh,
to tell me
crap.
about yours. So, what's your story?
Well, well, I went to a vault with my husband and son. A nuke went off. Woke up 100 years later. Husband got shot. Son got taken. Got revenge on my husband. Found my son. He was a dick. And he's old. And then I decided to do space travel because, you know, that makes sense. Let's see. Wouldn't believe I told you.
That right? Prove it.
I just told you, though. I'm alien.
Oof. You knocked your head in the cannery, didn't you? Injuries come out of everyone's pay. Says so right there in your contract. So, you want to tell me what your story really is?
I'm the last survivor. Everybody else is frozen.
Ah, I know that serial drama. They were playing it just the other night. What was it called? The Last Spacer? You're right. I don't believe you. I'd advise you to keep that story unsaid. Don't want people thinking you're a loon.
I'll give you another black eye. Don't
Ugh,
question
is
me.
this the start of a joke? If you want me to laugh at your jokes, it's a 3-drink minimum. Look, I don't know what you're blathering about. If you took a blow to your skull, you really should settle down with some zero-G. Anyhow, whatever happens outside the walls is not my business. Only deserters and marauders wander out there, and I cannot tell you which I revile more. My world is these 4 walls, that door, and a row of mugs that need cleaning.
Perception, tell me about it. You're afraid outside.
Let me make something clear. Spacer's Choice has been real good to me.
Oh, I
The
think I filled
town's
that.
been real good to me. I start gallivanting around outside the walls, poking around in places I shouldn't be, learning things I've got no right to know. People will talk. Won't ever catch me asking about the world outside. Else the town's gonna say Amelia's gone soft. That Amelia's pondering desertion. I don't want that.
I do imagine you won't get out of here with a plague and all.
Keep it down, will you? We don't talk about the PLAYGE. Not here. And if you're smart,
I was gonna
you
say
won't
spill
mention
it.
it anywhere. I've said enough. People come here to drink their problems away. If they wanted to face their problems, they'd go see our vicar.
Hey, level up. Woo! Well, let's head out. I'm probably going to just cut it until I get there in case anything weird happens. Transport wreckage. What the heck is that thing? A primal behemoth.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah, I'm not dealing with that.
Be right there. I'm going.
Oh, hello. We're anal now. That guy seems like a bigger threat.
Everyone all right?
She just whacked it. A skull fin. Sure, thank you. Nothing. The heck are you? A leather bow. Oh, it's a snake. Why is it so fat? Probably just ate some. This is straight up New Vegas. The whole thing where you come from Novak up to like the spaceship place for all the ghouls.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble.
You might have trouble. You keep disrespecting me.
I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along.
Why is your left ear glowing too? This is weird. What's your problem?
Armed strangers wandering into my camp for one. Some of my camp wandering out for another.
Who's been running out?
Got anything in you besides questions? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her.
I could always go look for her.
I go looking for Zoe, I leave the camp undefended, seeing as I'm the only one of us who knows her way around a gun. Hence my dilemma.
I mean, any idea what she might be
Vex
hiding?
me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already.
Snoop's room.
Little ways ago. She was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about.
How well do you know
Well,
her?
enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does.
You seem so personal. I can't imagine how you didn't get along with her.
She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own.
I'll keep. Well, maybe a more they took her.
Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skills, far as I could tell.
Oh. Yeah, you are Pacific.
Marauder gang just moved into the districts a little ways east. Their numbers are growing. Gotta come from somewhere.
I'll keep an eye
It's
out.
not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere.
I mean, if you put so much doubt on someone, you know. Unless Marauders got her, there could be parts of her in a lot of places.
Could do without the gallows humor.
Where is her?
Over in the hothouse, tending crop.
Thank you. Have a good day. This place doesn't seem that bad. And I'll check out Zoe's house after I talk to her. Ooh. Fancy. Excuse me, miss.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
Dumb. Yeah, what's that smell?
That'd be the garden, dear. You're standing in a garden. Also fertilizer, so mind your boots.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often.
Who's Thomas?
Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
This your greenhouse?
No, dear. The garden belongs to us all.
Okay, you know what I
Life
meant.
is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice.
Boy, I know that you could tripe in the garden.
Ah, cynicism. The privilege of the young. What you need is a little taste of my special mushroom soup. It'll broaden your mind. Or at least your irises.
It's like made yourself a home out here.
A home
Miss
for anyone who's
McDevitt.
ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
So, hold on, you guys can fly?
My goodness. Aren't you just charming?
I've been sent to make peace with you.
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's
I knew he was a
idea of
reptilian.
peace, then?
Tell me about coming back or losing power. I wasn't really listening.
I can't say I blame you. Reed is positively soporific. Like everything else
I'm
that
gonna look
comes
that
out
up.
of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
This is serious. I'm not trying for power. No, he asked me to do it, but I don't think I will.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
I need a power regulator.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
What do you got against the town, man?
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scrap Spacer's Choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork.
Oh.
His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
Oof. And I gotta make choices. I don't like that you did that to her face, bitch.
I'm alright. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear.
What do you got against people trying to make a living?
It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company owns them. Body, blood, and bones. You've been there. You've seen it. All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They give their lives for some heartless corporation, and then they're tossed into a Spacer's Choice brand cemetery.
Welcome to the 21st century. Say I help you. What happens to Edgewater?
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives.
You think Reed's just trying to spite you?
You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it.
I'll consider it.
I trust you will listen to your conscience.
What do you think?
Yeah, huh?
We'll talk later. I'm gonna end the episode right here, y'all. Thanks for watching another episode of The Outer Worlds with Jane McBoob Saga. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later.
Don't forget to like, follow, and obey.